I found this beautiful documentation framework called Fumadocs. And when I go to showcase right here, and as you can see here, there's a cool website made with Fumadocs. And if I scroll a little bit down, there's a better out. And yeah, like you know, better out is authentication that we already created the video how to integrate that with Next.js couple weeks ago, I believe. And it created with Fumadocs. Super great. And what we are going to create in this video is this right here. Really clean. There's no fancy in here. And basically the dark mode, light mode here is just works out of the box. The search is just works. And also the documentation here that we are going to create, as you can see, really clean. And then as you can see here on the right side, we can go for the specific title. For example, this performance monitoring middleware. If I click that, it's going to be redirect me to the specific content. Great. As you can see here, the search is also works. If I go to optimization, for example, it just works. And also, not only documentation, we can create beautiful blog with Markdown and also with this Fumadocs. As you can see here, if I click blog, it's open the blog page. And if I click hello world post, as you can see, look incredible clean. And even on the code right here, the copy and paste functionality is just works out of the box. So we don't really care about that, to be honest, because on the code right here, we just create something like this. All right, just code. And then the copy and paste functionality is just right here. So basically Fumadocs give us that functionality. And also to use this table of content component, we can just simply use this component right here, inline TOC, come from this Fumadocs UI /component /inline TOC. All right. And also what I'm showing you next is, yeah, I think that's it. Without any further ado, let's just get started. So let's install the Fumadocs. Let's go to get started, and then right here, I'm going to use the automatic installation, but you always can use the manual installation if you have already have this Next.js application in your project and you want to install the Fumadocs. You can do that in here. You can just follow along this manual installation, really easy to follow. But in this video, I just want to use this automatic installation. So let's just copy this one. So this is basically which will also install Next.js with Fumadocs and also all the setup for the file and folder, etc. So for the project name, I'm going to say go common or whatever name you want. And for the content source, I'm going to select Fumadocs MDX. This will allow us to create Markdown file to basically generate content, right? And for the styling, yes, I like to use Tailwind, and yes, just use ESLint. Do you want to install automatically? Just say yes. The installation is done. So let's cd into the Cocomon like this, and we are going to open that inside Visual Studio Code. Now let's run npm run dev on the terminal. It's going to be open localhost 3000. All right, so this is what we have. As you can see, everything is set up and we just done. As you can see here, the search functionality is just right here, and this is works. Of course, the light mode and dark mode is also works. I'm not sure this works. And the dark mode, light mode just works. Documentation is just works. Everything works. So I think the tutorial is done. Okay, so let's see how the component look like. Here we have app. All right, like just normal Next.js application. Here we have the layout.tsx. And basically our children is wrapping inside the root provider come from Fumadocs. And let's open the home and then layout right here. And also our page is wrapping inside the home layout come from Fumadocs UI also. As you can see here, the best option is basically how we create the navigation. Basically, we can create any navigation in here if we want, right? We can add link, and we are going to back on this file later. But for now, let's go back to page right here. And this is the page that you see right here. Just really simple hello world with description. This is you see right here, right? Asking me, where is the navbar right here? So basically, the navbar is just written by Fumadocs UI, so we don't have ability to change the navbar anyway. But the navbar is just great. Of course, this is responsive out of the box, as you can see. Just look great. So how we add the nav item here, because now we just have documentation. Let's go back to layout right here. As you can see here, this is render the best option. So let's click that, and as you can see here, we just have this nav right here, right? The link is just one, which is documentation. So the title, you can change that to whatever you want, common or whatever name you want, as you can see here. But if you want to render like image and etc., this also works because this is a JSX right here, right? You can do that, and you can say like, maybe you can use span right here, span tag. You can say common. You can add any class name here if you want, like do class name. You can do background green, I don't know, maybe let's say 300. And also I can say border gray like 500. Let's save, and this is what we have, right? Also, you can add like a border, save. As you can see here, if I on the light mode, the text is white right now. So we can do that like if we on the dark mode, the text I want to set that to black. Just save, and here we go. Nice. How about the nav item here? Let's go back right here. I just want to copy and paste this one, and then let's change that to, for example, block. And then for the road, I can say /block, and the active is nested URL. I'm showing you what is this. Let's go back right here. If I click block right now, of course we get 404 because we don't have that road right here on the home. So let's create a block folder, which is block page, and then inside that block we have page.tsx. All right, so we can do RFC, and we can change that to like block page, and then now we can just basically see our block. Let's click, and then as you can see, we have block page. For example, on the block right here we have Slack folder, so let's create that Slack like this, and inside that we have page.tsx. Let's do RFC and just save that like that. And then now if I go to, for example, random things right here, all right, the block is still active. As you can see here, the block is still black. That means block active because we set the, let me see right here, the active is nested URL. That means if we still on the block / whatever, it's going to be active. If I change that to, for example, like URL, that means this is just active when we on this same URL right here. It's just match with /block. If we on the nested URL, the block is not active, as you can see here, right? But for block, of course, we need to use nested URL. So let's go back to documentation, and we are going to learn how this documentation layouting happen and how the MDX basically read, and then we have the content right here with MDX, right? First thing first, let's open the app and then docs and then layout. So this is basically everything happen. As you can see, the layout return doc layout. This is basically what you see on right here /docs. So the docs layout is basically all the layout you see right here. So this is just available out of the box, and the tree that we use is gonna become from the source.page tree. So this is basically come from the lib.source. But I'm gonna show you first from here, right? This is everything started. We create file called source.config.ts, and this is basically will define what kind of markdown file we need to read. So in this case, we need to read from this directory content/docs, right? So if you check on the documentation here, so basically all this function here, this function define docs, it's same with this define collection. As you can see here, it is same as the config below. So basically we can just paste that right here, right? And then I just want to remove the Zod validation here. Just import the define collection, and then I just want to remove this one. So what happened here is we get the content from the content/docs, and then we export as a docs and as a meta. And this is will generate a .source folder, and inside that folder we have this any file in here. This is just generated automatically, just don't worry about this. Inside the index.js, as you can see here, we have the docs and meta, and this is that we are basically use inside the lib/source.ts right here, right? We get the docs and meta, and then we create MDX source right here. We just paste this docs and meta value, and this source we using that inside the layout right here, source.page tree. Let me console log the source right here. So as you can see, this is what we have. It's come from the server. And then I'm going to see on the value right here, we have any function in here. And also on page 3, we have the name, children, and etc. And all this value inside the page 3 is basically we paste into these 3 props inside the docs layout, and docs layout, Fumadocs UI here, it's take care the rest. So we just don't worry about this. To create new tab on the documentation, it's really simple. What you have to do is just paste any Markdown file right here. I have my GraphQL.mdx and I just want to paste that right here. As you can see, if I doing that, now we have this GraphQL query optimization. This is basically from here, right? I can just remove the title and then we just have GraphQL right here. All right, really cool. And as you can see, I just doing really simple things right here with Markdown, and there is no functionality in here, right? This is just a content. We just have a heading 2, just paragraph, just any code right here. And as you can see, the result is incredible. We have the beautiful right here and just space and etc. And we have the copy and paste functionality. Everything is just works really great. And even as you can see down here on the footer, we have the previews and also the next section. Super nice. That's for the documentation. So how that we can create a blog. So for example, right here on the blog, I want to create a list of the blog. So let me just close everything. The first step is you need to go to source.config.ts, and in here you need to basically export any name you want. In this case, I'm gonna say blog like this, and I use divine collection, and then type is going to be doc. And then for the content directory, I'm gonna set the directory to content/blog like this. So now I can go to my content and then blog. I can just paste any file in here. For example, I paste hello-word.mdx and I paste a title, description, date, and author. And then I have a heading 2 and paragraph, heading 2, paragraph, and the code right here, and just really simple mdx. I just generated with ChatGPT. So now if you open your source.index.js right here, you have one variable called blog. And as you can see, we have all the content inside the blog right here. Okay, so now how we can use that on our page. So let's go to app right here and then home and then blog. So inside of page.tsx right here, before we can use the markdown content, we need to go to the lib folder source.ts file. And in here, we need to export variable call. I'm going to call this blog or any name you want. And then we are going to run this loader. And then the base URL that we are going to use is basically /blog. And then we are going to run the source, going to become from the create mdx source and then docs right here. It's not going to be docs, it's going to be blog, but I'm going to change the name into blog post like this. So I can use that inside this create mdx source. But yep, we don't have the meta in this case. But as you can see, we have this error. That's because meta is required. So now just put empty array. Nice. So now we can use this blog. Let's go to page right here, and I can say like cons, let's say post set equals to like blog, right? The blog is going to become from the lib/source, and then we can use a dot get pages. Get pages is mean get all the data. If we use get page, it's get specific data. So let's use get pages and then just console log post. As you can see on the console, we have this one object inside an array, and this is basically hello world. Great. So let's go back in here and we are going to map through this post. So I just want to copy and paste the return. As you can see here, I just returning main with container and etc. And then we have the heading 1, Cocomon blog right here. And also we have the border here on the div, and inside the div we have this post. It's basically mapped through all the posts that we have right here, right? That we console log right here. And right here, we need to just basically use next link for the button that we can click basically. And then as you can see here, we just add some class name for the card. And then we have the title. It's basically access the post.data.title. As you can see here, post.data.title, just this one. Yeah, you cannot see it. I'm sorry about that, guys. So as you can see here, we access the title, a description, and also the, let me see, author, right? And also I believe we access the, let me see, data.date. So let me see right here, data.date, which is date right here that we create on the content/blog right here. So we can access all right here, and then we can just read in here. So let's save and let's take a look what we have. Let's go back, and then as you can see, it looks super nice, right? We have this card right here. If I click that, it's going to be run this link here, and each rep is going to be post.url. Let me click that, and as you can see, we on the blog/hello world. Nice. Our blog is created, as you can see here. If I add for another blog, for example, so let's just copy and paste this right here, and I just want to change the title to title second. I don't know, just doing that. And now as you can see, we should be have to blog post right now. So as you can see, we have two cards right here, hello world and title second, right? Super nice. So now let's working with the detail of the blog. If I click hello world, for example, as you can see, now we just have page. So let's go to Slack and then page.tsx. This is basically what we need to get the specific content for the blog, and then we need to return that as a JSX right here. So basically this component will returning promise, and then because this is returning promise, we need to basically change the component function here into async function. So the props for this page is basically have a params, and then we have promise Slack because we have folder called Slack right here. And then this component, this page component, is basically returning promise. So we can do promise react element, just like that. First, we need to basically await for the props.params that we have the value right here. The param value is basically what you typing right here after the block. If the value is hello world, of course, we get the params hello world. So right here, under that, we need to run this block.getPage. Remember, get page is get for the specific page that have this title here. For example, the param Slack is hello world, so we need to say, please get the page that have title hello world, right? So here we need to just returning not found when we don't have that page. So now as you can see, we have that page. That means we get the page right here, page value. So let me console log that if you're not confused. Console right here, and as you can see, we have this data and then etc, right? We just have for the specific block because we open the hello world. Of course, we get the hello world data right here on the console. So in here, I just want to return React fragment, and then as you can see right here, we just have a div with some link. I'm gonna use next link, and as you can see right here, so basically we create a div with container class right here, and then we have a button link back for the /blog, and then we have the titles come from the page.data.title. Let me showing you right here, page.data.title, which is right here, right? And also we just return the description inside a p tag, just really simple. And then let's take a look what we have. I'm gonna refresh. Let me save that first. Okay, as you can see, we have this back button and hello world title and the description of that. If I go back to blog, click this title second, and as you can see, we have the different title, of course. Nice. So now how about the content? So basically here, I just paste the article, and then as you can see, I have some div right here, content here, and the written by. This is basically will pushing that on the right side, and also on the right side we also have this basically add, and then we return the date right here, right? So let's take a look what we have. If I refresh, as you can see here, we have content here, and then written by right here, and add right here. So the content here, I'm going to remove that. This is basically self-closing tag like this, and I'm going to run page.data.body like this, and then I run component. Let's do component, and then I'm going to set that equals to default mdx component, right? So basically we get value from the body, and then we run component set equals to default mdx component come from the Fumadocs UI. As you can see, magic just happened, and our website is look incredible now. If I make it a little bit bigger, as you can see, super nice. We have all the functionality here, the copy paste still working. Now I'm going to add the component. as you can see on the documentation, you can see, let me go to documentation and then components right here. There's a lot of component. Okay, there's accordion, there's a banner, there's a zoomable image. If I click that, it's zoom in like that. And then also there is a inline TOC. This is that we are going to use basically. So to using that, it's super simple. We just copy this inline TOC like that, and then I'm going to render that on the top of this page data.body. So let's just make sure we import that come from the Fumadocs UI, and then the item is going to become from the page.data.toc. So basically all the page right here that we have and we console log is just Fumadocs UI take care everything. So we not worry about that. So as you can see, we have table of content, really cool. Everything is just work. When I click that, as you can see, it just works. So let's go back and then see the title second here. It also works. Everything it's same because the content is just same. As you can see, this just looks super clean. Even the dark mode and light mode, it still just works out of the box. Really great. And yep, you can use this Fumadocs UI to create beautiful blog posts. So I think that's it for this video. Hope you enjoyed and learned something new from this video. See you guys on the next one.